This is the KoperCrabb podcast. Oh shit! Navene Koperweis here.
I'm Chaney Crabb. We're here with our homie Andrew Holzbaur.
What up? What up, Andrew?
And it's a Saturday.
Let's get this situated.
I like that.
It's crazy to think that it's like February. You know?
Already, I know. It really is. It's like the older I get, I know that this is really stereotypical to say, but the older I get, the quicker the years move by.
Yeah.
And it sucks. You just lose track of time in a way.
Like anticipating the next week already.
Yeah. I know. I think sometimes I find myself doing that, and I try to get myself back into the moment to like think about what's going on there, and it's like almost by thinking about it, you're just taking yourself out of the moment. I don't know. It's a struggle, but
that it is. So what up, everybody? We're here to shoot the shit on Saturday. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
We wanted to give a quick shout out immediately to Recess Coffee, hooking us up again. Shit is super awesome. It's the guy from dude I used to play shows with, go on tour with, Ed Gein. Did you ever hear that band, Ed Gein?
Yeah,
back in the day?
I saw him at the Pound.
oh shit.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, he started this coffee company.
Oh, cool.
Like 10 years ago or more, maybe fuck it could have been 15 at this point, but like right after Ed Gein or around that time he started this, and
Where
it's doing good.
Recess is based out of Syracuse, right?
Yeah,
so if you guys are in the fine Syracuse area,
there's like a
go check
physical
that shit out.
location. Their coffee is actually really, really good.
It's super
I'm not
good.
just saying that because he's our friend,
And it is very potent. It smells like he'll send it to us in a package, and right as you open the package, you can just smell that
it's
fine
intense.
ass coffee.
It's good stuff.
Awesome.
So thanks to Recess and Jesse.
So yeah, speaking of stuff
man.
to drink, Andrew, you should introduce everyone to your brother-in-law's company.
Yeah, so it's called Seven Stills, and it's based out of San Francisco, and this is specifically some of his hazy beer here. This is the 5 pounds.
Oh, here, let's pull it. I don't think it's in the
Oh yeah,
camera,
shit,
right?
sorry. Fuck
Gotta
around.
show that shit. Yeah.
So this here is the 5 pounds, which is kind of like his flagship hazy beer.
Okay.
We
We love hazies, me and Chaney. So.
Yeah, me too. It's also available in 8 pounds, but he does that as kind of a more of a limited type of thing. But this is like
What does the pounds
Yeah.
symbolize?
You know, I don't know. It's funny because I had this conversation with him about how they come up with like beer names.
Yeah.
Because he has one beer that's called Hoptober. Well, he released this last year in October. It was called Hoptober Truck Event. With like this huge monster truck on. I was like, where'd you come up with the truck event part? You know?
The beer names are it's kind of like what weed names used to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know?
No,
They're still like that. Weed names, it's like people come up. What was his like, why the truck?
I don't know. He was like, he goes back and forth with the guys that he works with, and it's just somebody spurts out something, and
It just is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like beer names don't stress on them as hard.
Yeah.
That's all I can think. So this is like the other beer here. This is
Yeah, let's check that one out.
this is his newest stuff. This is called Cord Drawer,
All right.
and
Legit.
yeah, this is a hazy. This is a made from Sabro, Simcoe, and Cryo Citro hops.
I don't know what the fuck that means,
sounds,
but I want to try it.
Some shit.
Important.
I know. It's like, yes,
Right?
this is super legit. Can I get one of those?
Yeah, and it's 8%, so it's a rage.
All right.
This is considered a Bill Oberender. Do you know Bill? Merch
Bill.
guy? Maybe not. But
not.
this is what Billy O would call a dick ripper, because it's
Certified dick
it's
ripper.
a certified dick
Certified
ripper.
dick ripper.
It's over 7%. So
Yeah.
once you're done with it, your dick is ripped off.
Yeah.
Last there's a brewery like 500 feet away from here, and we went last week before the podcast, and then I think we had 2 beers each. I had 10%.
Yeah.
So
Me too. We had the same beers.
I was
Stout or
looking at
something?
no, it was a triple IPA.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was looking at like a little clip
Oh.
from last week, and I was like, all just. I looked like my dad when he has too many.
Yeah. We were like, we drank a little too much before that podcast. But dude, now pouring this, if you guys can see that, that's what I look for in a beer that I like.
Seriously.
That perfect haze right there. And not every
one of
hazy
these.
has
Yeah,
it.
Let's do it. Yeah, I know.
So, yeah,
it's
let's
hard to
pull this
find,
shit
and
out.
I was pretty apprehensive to the craft beer thing at first, believe it or not.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this tastes like melted pennies. This is gross. You know, I don't.
I stuck with like Lagunitas for a long time,
Oh.
you know, just because it was kind of like, I don't know, that always just seemed to satisfy it, even though it was like, there's all this new shit coming out, and it was like, all right, try this.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, like, you know, in the last, like, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years, it was like, I started trying like hazy beer, and I'm like, man, this shit is fucking
Yeah,
good.
that's the
Dude,
one that sort
totally.
of won me over. You know, I was like, okay, hazies actually taste great.
Yeah.
Me too. I think actually Delirium, which is a Belgian, was the first
That was,
like
yeah, the
craft
first,
beer
yeah.
that I fell in love with. And
Can I
then,
use this?
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's for you.
These are some vintage
Yeah.
Budweiser
And then,
mugs.
Good.
yeah, those are sick as fuck.
So we're being real hipsters over here.
And honestly, speaking of
Schlitz.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bill Oberender, we did a tour with him, and he was doing merch for us, and he likes to check out every craft beer place or every brewery around
Yeah.
the venue. And that's how I really, really started getting into like specific beers, because
Yeah.
when you're traveling around the country, there are so many cool breweries now to go and check out. And the one that majorly comes to mind is that one in San Diego. What's it called?
Stone.
Stone. Have you been there?
I have.
It's fucking sick.
This is phenomenal. This
This
is
is
probably
really good beer,
the
yeah.
best, one of the best hazies I've ever had.
Nice.
I
And
agree.
I'm not just saying that, although I would say something like that.
Yeah.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thanks for bringing these beers.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming
and-
down, man.
Yeah, thanks,
Really.
Andrew.
Enjoy.
What's your brother-in-law's name?
Tim Obert.
So
Cool.
Tim, yo,
Shout
you
out to
make
Tim.
fucking good beer, man.
Yeah.
It's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like you were saying, it's over on Folsom area.
Well, his
and
newest spot
First.
is on Hooper.
Okay.
Yeah, right by the Adobe building. So that's if
I was
anybody,
doing some work over there the other day.
Yeah.
like, in the city.
yeah, it's nice because it's like a 15-20 minute walk from like the Chase Center and like the fucking the Giant Stadium, you know. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
eventually, you know, baseball's about to start, which is going to be cool for him because you know people can like.
Oh, dude.
You know,
It'll
and
be a
then- and
go-to
then head
spot.
over there. So, and he's got a full restaurant in there. So yeah, I mean, if anybody's looking to check it out, it's on Hooper. It's called Seven Stills. That's his
There it
main
is.
spot. Yeah.
That's awesome. So is it a law now that you have to have food where you serve beer?
No, not that I know of.
It's just the hip shit. Like everyone wants to go to a brewery
I
where
think
there's good.
most of the time, a lot of breweries are serving food because it keeps
Motherfuckers
people
get the drunk.
exactly.
Hungry,
It's
That's
it's keeping people like from not just falling off the bar stool
Yeah.
after one
Totally,
fucking beer.
or you gotta leave and go get food.
Yeah.
Well, people also underestimate the power of these fucking beers, because like we were talking about with the Dick
Seriously.
Ripper, it's like you can go and have one of these and be pretty good, like feel a little tipsy when you stand up, and you
Yeah.
don't really. That's not like drinking a Bud Light or
Yeah.
some shit.
no,
but-
it's definitely it's a whole nother spectrum
Yeah.
than
Totally,
your bud.
totally.
Yeah, but you know, I'll knock back a lot of Coors Lights, so you gotta watch it with these things.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be knocking them back
No.
all day.
Yeah.
No, you'll.
Like
But
at
I mean,
our
the cool,
housewarming
the
party.
cool thing is like once you, yeah, I know, right?
I was fucking toasted. It was horrible.
Once you start like sipping it and like the taste and stuff, I don't know. To me, it's like I don't even really like chugging the shit
Yeah,
out of this
yeah.
beer. You
No.
know, it's like I'm like man, every sip is good.
It's
Coors
exactly.
Light, it's like yeah, you shotgun one, you know, and it's like
I know the thought of shotgunning one of these is just
Oh,
such a
yeah.
heinous act to me.
That's
Like,
horrible.
Don't do that. That's like a total
yeah, don't
disservice.
do that.
But we should say we met Andrew. Well, Andrew and I are from the Bay Area. It's sort of the same scene, although we didn't really know each other back in the day.
yeah. I mean, we definitely crossed paths, but that was I feel like, you know, the Bay Area scene, it's always kind of been like that. You cross paths
Yeah.
with a lot of people, and whether you gained a friendship with them right away then or, you know, 5, 6, 7 years later, whatever, it's
Yeah.
cool. And when it happens, it's just, you know, everything, like, you know, right away. It's like we're talking about things, and it's like, oh yeah, that dude in this place.
I know,
and stuff like that.
Yeah, which is sort of weird to me.
Yeah,
that you can be from. Like, I mean, I guess it's what I consider to be sort of a small community.
Yeah,
and not really know everyone totally. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it is.
I mean, we're all passionate about metal and it to the core, but I definitely I feel like, you know, people that have grown up in the Bay Area and stuff like that, you know, like it's
because I remember hearing about Hostility. Yeah, was that your first band?
That was my first band. Yeah,
but the thing is, back then, like metal and hardcore were sort of still a little bit separate,
right?
And I was more in the hardcore thing at that point. So I knew about you guys, but I knew you didn't really play hardcore shows as much.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, it's funny. We didn't, although me specifically, I was always trying to get the band into things.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I remember I was always trying to get us into Gilman.
Yeah.
And
I
would never get a call back, and then finally I got a call back, and the guy was just like, hey man, he's like, yeah, I'm just not really sure if I have something for you guys that would fit,
which is so like absurd.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, just put them on a show.
Yeah,
now it's like that whole question and answer is like, what, you know. But same thing with Chain Reaction. I tried forever in Chain Reaction, you know, and it's like so
that's what I'm saying, like the metal because I sort of remember when I liked metal a lot, but I would go to hardcore shows, like mainly because this dude who worked for my dad, he was like in a hardcore band back in the day, and so I would go with him when I was super young, like I don't know, 12.
Excuse me.
And so
now you should have done it right into the mic.
You know, started meeting everybody and
tone it up.
Yeah.
So I started meeting everybody at those shows, and then I got more into metal, but it was somewhat separate. But I remember when like Animosity started playing out of town shows and stuff. I like totally remember this one day we played a show in Seattle, and I was like, dude, there's a kid here wearing it's like wearing an Origin shirt or something, and I was like, that's sick, you know, because it was like when that started to meld, and now obviously
where would your band play if it wasn't Gilman and Shane?
I mean, one of the first places that we really started playing shows was this place called the Phoenix Theater
it's in
Petaluma.
People
Wait, is that
still
where you
play
guys
there.
are from?
Yeah, well, we were from Novato, which is one town south. So it's right, you know, it's right up the 101.
It's so nice up there.
Yeah, it is.
Up there.
Yeah, it's great. And yeah, so that was the main venue up there, and you know, we just started cracking off stuff, and it's still doing shit. Actually, I'm gonna go see Soulfly with my buddy tonight up there.
Oh fuck, Soulfly's playing there tonight.
Yeah, they're still them and Toxic Holocaust.
Damn, that's sick. Is that place like a skateboard park?
It's not a skateboard park, but they have 2 ramps inside.
Okay,
so
that's sick.
Kids are just skating in there all the time, and it's rad.
Chaney, have you not been there?
I've never been there. No.
Huh. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've been there somewhat recently, but
I feel like I talk about shows there because places or tours will like either hit San Francisco or Petaluma for some reason.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool shows seem to roll through there, but it's like a 3-hour drive for us. So we're never. It's hard to barge up there because I'm trying to like have a beer or something if I'm going to a show.
So you're like, Catalyst, I'm there.
Yeah.
Catalyst, I'm there.
We joke about that all the
Catalyst.
time.
It's like
it's got it.
Maybe if it's on a weekend.
Yeah,
no, totally.
Yeah, if it's on a weekend, or the Santa Cruz Vets Hall is starting to do shows again.
I heard.
Did you go to shows there back in the day?
Not there. Well, there was a tour that I did with when I was in Oblige with Stick to Your Guns and Ghost Inside, and we played.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if it was the Vets Hall, but it was like something like that there. I forget what it was called.
In Santa Cruz.
In Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like some.
It was either the Vets Hall basement. Or
it wasn't in a basement, but it was something like that. I can't remember.
I don't know. I mean, the only places that do shows are Blue Lagoon, Vets Hall basement. There was a house that used to do shows.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Regardless.
That's cool. I was going to say the other one was the Pound, though. That was where I really started. You know, yeah, exactly.
That was the home base for sure.
Especially for like seeing all types of genres, you know what I mean? Like they prided themselves on like Monday through Sunday, like if they could get a killer show in every day, they would.
That's sick.
You know?
Yeah.
I saw so many good shows there and played
so many.
shows.
Yeah.
So is Gilman only doing weekend shows? Is that their thing?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
it's like a volunteer spot.
Ah, okay.
You know, it's like.
So maybe if something worthwhile came through, then they'd have it there, but it's not open every single day necessarily, or like.
Not that I know of. I mean, I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
On
Gilman, they don't do as much as they used to, from what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I definitely went to the Pound more than Gilman.
Yeah.
Just
I went to both a lot.
Yeah.
But
that's
Pound
cool.
was. Once I started getting more into metal, then it was like, I'm going to the Pound all the time. And like, the first time I went there was 2001, Dying Fetus.
I was probably there.
Really?
Yeah.
Destroy the Opposition tour.
Yeah, it was like Dying Fetus and
Skinless.
yep.
Yeah, you were there.
And it was Dying Fetus, Skinless, and Sulfala Carnage, maybe.
It was
Damn.
shit. I had the poster forever. That's how I remember the date. It was actually March 25th, 2001.
Wow.
And I went to a show at Gilman the night before. I went to Walls of Jericho and Undying.
Oh, yeah.
And then everyone was kind of like sort of making fun of me. Like, because I was like, I'm going to Dying Fetus tomorrow, you know. And the Walls of Jericho show was coming down here to Santa Cruz. So all the hardcore dudes like went to that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go to Dying Fetus. And they were like, oh, yeah, whatever, you know, metal guy or whatever, Hesher or whatever, you know. And I was like, cool, whatever. And then, dude, that show, it was like life-changing.
Yeah.
What the fuck's a Hesher? For all of us who are
Hesher?
not from the Bay Area.
I don't know. Back in the day,
fuck?
they had this term Hesher. It was like a
you heard
super
that
metal
before?
guy.
I mean, kind of.
I've never even heard it since
Whatever
then.
you're, dude.
Hesher.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
So if you chose the Fetus show over the Walls of Jericho show, you're a Hesher?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it was
the type of-
obviously they were just playing around. They don't care. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody actually liked Dying Fetus.
Yeah, I just want to
you
know what a Hesher is.
I don't know. It's just like a
Or
weird.
heshing.
You're
I don't
heshing? Yeah. It's like, what are you heshing? Like, that's hella heshing,
But
dude.
I also saw. Fuck, I could do a whole episode on shows I've seen there.
Oh, yeah,
like,
same here.
Like literally.
They just that's the thing that hurt the most was they got better and better and better and better, and then it was like then they started doing these like massive outdoor shows.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, fuck.
Guar and Behemoth and
They like
Fucking-
enclosed the parking lot with a big gate.
yeah,
thing.
it looked like a jail. It
Yeah.
looked like
Wow.
a jail, but it was like
It was fucking sick.
yeah, it was so sick.
This
Yeah.
is the Pound we're talking about?
And
Oh, wow.
the thing is, it was in the city, but it was like it was down like by the water, and there was nothing around there.
Yeah,
So it was
Damn.
like totally chill parking. You could just fucking park on the street. You could do whatever. You know, people would just. I mean, it was the best. It was huge that place closed down.
Didn't you play the last show there? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were like the house band there, dude. We played there
Yeah.
all the time.
I was so upset because I was on tour and I heard about it because I'm good friends with Eric Thomas, and he had called me and said, "Dude, you're not going to believe this, man. The Pound's shutting down." I was like, "What?"
I know.
And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "When?" He's like, "Next week." And I was on tour and I wasn't going to be home for a couple more weeks, and I was like, "Dude, that sucks so much." They had like Suffocation, Decapitated there like 2 nights.
I know.
And that shit got canned. And then I
Damn.
heard you guys played like.
Well, we just did it like
because it was so
we
last
were
minute,
local,
right? Yeah.
and they're just like, "Oh, let's get Animosity."
Is
We're
this
like
a
the house
show?
band.
Is this a show you've talked about? Evan was in the band and he couldn't play the show
Yeah.
because you guys did it last minute. Okay,
Yeah, so he couldn't play it,
that's
so we
fucked.
got all the former bassists to do all their like respective songs.
That's pretty cool,
Yeah,
just to
that's
celebrate
rad.
the Pound.
I mean,
So,
especially
it's pretty
like
cool.
at such a last minute thing like that too. You
Totally.
know,
shitty.
shitty.
It's always shitty. Like there are venues that I grew up in that have closed down, and it's like a part of your heart just kind of it breaks.
Yeah,
Especially
if
it's
you,
just
you know,
hard.
you go to shows there and you play there. It's like that
Yeah.
double like
Yeah,
So
it's
who
a
were
part
you
of
on
your
tour
life.
with at that time?
hostility.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So you guys went on tour and stuff.
Yeah, we did. A lot of the stuff we did was like self-funded, but then we
Okay.
did a couple with like that band Skin Lab
Oh yeah,
and this band from LA for a while. This band called Oncla. I don't know if you heard of them back in
I
the day.
haven't heard of them.
But yeah, you know, we tried to get out there and, you know, just kind of do our thing. And I just basically figure it out. I mean, I had never really toured at that point, and obviously, you know, social media wasn't as crazy as it is now, so it was like navigating, like getting shows and
I don't know how anyone did that.
Yeah, networking with bands, and printing out like Yahoo Maps and shit. Like,
totally.
You know, like directions and shit. Yeah,
dude, what about this? The fucking like the Atlas.
Yeah,
you know? We had this big like, I think it's called an Atlas, right?
I think I don't know. I know what you mean. It's like a road map.
Yeah, it's like a road map, but it's huge and it's got like a lot of pages. And it's detailed.
That might be an atlas, yeah.
Yeah, but we had this. That's how we.
That's how we got to show.
Just follow it.
Yeah.
But it didn't tell you traffic.
No.
So next thing you know, you got
or how long it took.
You got to New York, and you're like, why did this book tell me anything about this?
So our plan was like, okay, use that, and then once we get to the city, we'll go to a Kinko's and use a computer and print out the directions to the show.
Yep.
That's how we did it.
There are a lot of things that I haven't thought about. There are a lot of things that I haven't thought about until this moment in dealing with touring like that, which is, here's one thing. When you run out of stock on tour of merch, you just fucking email the guy and you're like in constant touch. You have tracking to where everything is.
How did they do that back then?
How do you do
Dude, we made it happen. Like,
that's
you'd
so
have
weird.
to... Well, we had email, obviously, so...
Well, yeah.
It was just, the same as what we would do now. Like, you email them when you get to the venue or whatever, and then they'll say, we'll send it to this, either send it to the venue or we'll go pick it up.
Yeah, okay. So it wasn't as prehistoric as
but we imagining. Got a tom-tom.
Yeah,
like,
I never got one of
But we got one. We were the first band that I knew that had one. And like we dropped like $700 on it. And it was like this deep. Like it was the first one. And I remember being on tour and everybody on the tour was like, what's that thing? And we're like, dude, it fucking tells you how to get there. Like, and it was like... It had restaurants in it too.
Yeah.
So it was like, dude, we're just looking for like Chipotle or whatever, you know, like.
Yeah, that's hella
So
cool.
it was sick. That was like a fucking big deal.
Yeah, that was a game changer for sure.
And an iPod. Like Leo had an iPod, so it was like, what? Like no CD book? That's sick.
That's crazy. Although sometimes now I kind of miss my CD book that I had. Yeah. It was cool flipping through that shit.
It's probably cool for like 5 minutes, and then you're like, this sucks.
Like most other things that aren't cool technology are.
I know, right?
So that was...
But tapes are making a comeback, though.
They are.
That's kind of cool.
We've been talking about doing some tapes, and it's like, why? I don't know, you know?
You know what's funny, though, is I was on Amazon yesterday and just searching, and they have like all the old like Sony tape players and shit you can buy on there. I mean, who knows what the condition are of them, but
right.
Well, I'd probably need to get one because we don't have a way to play a fucking tape.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, no shit. That's the weird thing is that all of the cars back in the day only had cassette players. So we had to figure out a way to combat that. But now we want to go retro, and it's just CD players if cars have that now. We can't play a fucking tape.
Dude, when I got my first car, it only had a tape player, and so I only had 2 tapes. I had Cannibal Corpse, Tomb and the Mutilated, which was an actual, like I had the actual real tape, so I wish I still had that.
Yeah,
because that's probably, I don't know,
that's
collector.
probably worth a couple hundred.
And then I had a dubbed copy of Tommy and Paul's first band.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Prayer for Cleansing.
Okay, yeah, I knew that.
And that was it.
What
I just jammed those 2 every day.
And then they started slowing down like a little bit, right?
Fucked up and shit.
What about the tape that had the extension cord?
Oh yeah.
So it's like you put that in
to plug into your CD player.
Plugged it into your CD player.
Yeah, dude,
I'm about to blow your mind, dude. They still have those.
Holy fuck.
My mom got a Bluetooth one.
Yeah.
It's a tape, and you put it in there, and then it makes your tape radio Bluetooth. So that's like really
sick.
And it still sounds like shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's the worst
like clicking.
sound
It's
ever.
clicking in your tape player, like as it's going. You just hear the click.
It sounds awful, dude.
But I don't know. There's something like... Don't you think there's something like just satisfying about the simplicity of that? You know, you're just like,
of course.
I'm gonna go to work and I know what I'm jamming.
Well,
you know?
sometimes with the internet, I feel it's like with Netflix. Yeah, dude, it's. But like with Netflix, it's like there's so many fucking options now, or Spotify. I just will find myself going through things for hours and then just picking like The Office or the shit I've seen 20 times or listened to 20 times.
I fall into that trap all the time. Too.
Yeah. So there's something that is simple about it that's like a little overcomplicated.
And you know you like it. You know, you're not like searching for something you like. You're just like, yeah, I like Tomb.
Totally.
I like that first Prayer for Cleansing. Cool. Good to go.
Yeah, that's all I need, man.
Do you guys get into vinyl at all? Or you?
Chaney's been getting into
I have a vinyl collection going out there, and it's I'm spending a lot of money on it because I like listening to vinyl so much because it's like what I'm saying with the disconnecting from the phone thing. I have like 20 vinyls, so I'm gonna throw on one of those albums. And
it's also kind of cool, like, to just put it on. And this sounds so like weird, but yeah, just put the album on and have the art, and it's
Well, you guys,
because that's what we used to do. You know, we just sit around with CDs and look at the artwork, and you know, and that was like really cool. It was really fun.
And I still do that.
But now it's like huger and more epic.
Exactly, man. It's like I just bought Dark Side of the Moon remastered, and it came with awesome Pink Floyd posters, and I'm just like looking through that shit and really appreciating it in a way that I don't on Spotify.
Right.
Like, it's cool to be interactive with that art. And we know as artists that people put their heart and soul into the booklet, and we think about that shit a lot. So why not be able to appreciate it? It's cool.
No, absolutely.
Do you collect vinyl?
I don't, but I want to.
Yeah.
There's a record store in Novato called Watts Music that's been around for ages, and you know, I go down there now, and like the guy's always trying to, you know, hey man, you really should get into vinyl, dude. Like, for real.
That makes sense from his point of view.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's thinking of this thing. Like,
I need you to drop some money in here. I'm about to go out of business.
Yeah, that's sick.
But yeah, I mean, I do want to get into it. I do want to get a nice player, and
dude, you should. Navene got me this Fluence player for Christmas because I was collecting vinyl before I had a record player.
Yeah.
And now it's like I'll just go look for limited edition shit all the time, and it's I just feel a brand new appreciation for music that is reminiscent of when I was in 7th grade and just starting to get into all this shit. It's very exciting.
And you guys print your own vinyl too for the band, right?
We got some vinyls, just for one album though. We need to get the other ones going.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Fans eat that shit up.
I know. Yeah.
I was super shocked, like when I kind of took a break or whatever from touring in metal and stuff. And like when we went back out, I did this other solo project thing, and like I didn't make CDs, and every night people were asking me for a CD, and I was just like, I figured that no one wanted a CD, but people still buy CDs. So I mean, it's kind of similar to the vinyl thing, I guess. You know,
totally.
Because I guess if you're not spending all your money on like gear, if you're not like a musician, then it's like, well, you want to, like, you know, I don't know, have some sort of collection or some physical thing. So I think that's pretty dang cool. Honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah, me too. I mean, I always have, and I still do. Totally love my CD collection.
I wish I had.
You still have a whole CD collection?
Yep. Actually,
that's sick.
I know.
I left most of it up north when I moved down south. I mean, I still brought all the CDs, but all the booklets and cases and stuff, I left that all up there.
Damn. That's a pro move, man.
Yeah.
Navene got rid of all of his CDs. My mom has like a few. I think she got rid of some of mine.
Yeah, that's pretty whack.
But
I wish, because I was just
I
like,
wish I had them.
I was like, these are like, no one's gonna care about these at all. Like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get rid of my collection and get like, I got like, I don't know, $300 or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like 18, so I thought that was a lot.
It's an easy trap to fall into, to want to get rid of all of your shit, because you're like, why do I really need this shit? And then once you get rid of it, with something like that, it's just so many memories. Like, there are so many memories invested in getting all of those albums and going through them. Like,
I've honestly contemplated like going and getting like at least all my favorite stuff just to have it, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Well,
now you can do it with vinyl.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. There's an idea.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Totally should do that actually.
And there is something that's, you know, no offense to anyone who's more into CDs than vinyl, but there is something cool to me about like getting colored vinyl, and like Black Dahlia Murder, they just put out this fucking vinyl that has liquid in it. That
I've seen some of that shit. It's fucking sick.
I don't understand how that plays correctly though. It seems like the liquid would like be all moving around, and then it would like fuck the vinyl up.
I saw a ton of purists in the comments like, what the fuck? This is gonna fuck up your vinyl player. But it's like, dude, a liquid vinyl, I think, is a little more for display than throwing it on your fucking record player.
Well, it's like a picture disc. You remember those from?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because like vinyl was sort of a thing. Like when I was coming up or whatever. Like, I have one of my oldest friends, Nick, lives in Oakland, and he was always into vinyl. He's got fucking huge, like a whole room, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And he was
That's
always
sick.
like into it from back in the day. So then I did, I thought he was super cool, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna collect vinyl, So I had some, but I gave a lot of them to my brother, so I might have to
Gank
them
them back. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing to get into.
It is.
Especially if you're a music lover. You got to have something to collect. So it's T-shirts. T-shirts are obviously something.
top of the chain.
Do you still have all your shirts from back in the day?
No. I ditched a good amount of them.
Yeah, me too, and I kind of wish I didn't do it.
I did save a few good ones. I was actually going through this old dresser the other day, and I had like, do you remember Vile?
The band?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That band is sick.
Yeah.
dude.
So I have an old shirt of that. Which
one? Depopulate?
No, it said on the back, it said Stench of the Deceased.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Depopulate is a super sick album.
Yeah.
That Vile album.
Yeah, fucking. I always thought Wham was a badass, fucking. Who still is, but fucking. As far as like death metal, straight death metal.
He records, right? In Concord?
That's actually who I did like all my recording with growing up. Really was at his studio.
Right, that makes sense.
In Concord.
That must have been pretty fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, he's fucking. He kills it pretty hard,
Does he still do that?
Yeah, he's doing like Testament now, and
Dang,
he's doing a lot.
Good
He's doing a lot of
for him,
the
man.
yeah. He's doing a lot of the Bay Area thrash shit.
That's fucking sick.
He did a Machine Head record.
Oh, okay.
Or a couple.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But yeah, fucking yeah, that band was sick. I was the only thing I was bummed about is I got it and it was like I had cut the sleeves off of it, but in a really shitty way. So all right, maybe I need to like
yeah.
Dude, I do that because I'll crop all of my T-shirts so I can wear them as crop tops, and now I fucking totally regret doing it to every shirt. And it's like, I guess I can make it into a patch.
Yeah.
None of my shirts would even really fit me anymore though. Like I was so skinny back in the day, small, So I have a couple.
Luckily, they fit me now. So
I mean,
yeah.
So I guess it wouldn't really matter if I had kept them all, but some of them would.
it's just like walking down memory lane. Like
Yeah.
now, every band we go on tour with, I take one of their shirts and I rarely wear them. I just throw them into my box of shirts so that someday I can look back on it and cherish those memories.
I know. See, that's the thing. I had just so many like old, like I don't know, BT Bam shirts and Necrophages when we played with them a couple times.
Yeah.
You still have some sick shit. You have that
Those shirts
a
are
Reflex
badass.
hoodie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Necro.
Yeah.
Dude.
I have a Necro hoodie thing, but you like made it into like a fashion statement. So we still have it.
That's
though.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, I probably cut
You
it up.
altered it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know,
totally
it's a
regret
small. I
doing
can't
that.
wear it. Whatever.
Yeah.
That was such a fucked up.
But
move.
Whatever.
Girls are specific with their
It's
their
true.
merch.
Also,
It's
when
true,
I hit
yeah.
it, if I hit it big time, I'm going online and I'm just gonna get every shirt, dude. From back in the day.
That's
You can
how I
just-
feel
they're
about
on
the
eBay.
vinyl.
I look sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
They're on there.
Oh yeah,
So.
for sure. No, definitely. I mean, especially some of that like European merch.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I wish I had bought some merch from that Dying Fetus show. I don't think I was even aware of that being a thing at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah.
I was like 15. How old are you?
I just turned 38.
You're
So-
38.
So you're a little older than me.
I never would have guessed that about you.
Yeah.
You got a young face.
Yeah.
The beard keeps you.
Yeah, this is probably the longest I've ever had my beard, so I'm
All right.
in there.
Well, so yeah, I mean we sort of actually met on that. It's kind of funny that you're here now because this is like the 5th year of Entheos being a band, and that was our first tour. So it's
Yeah.
kinda,
Yeah, that was our
kinda
first
cool.
tour. And looking back on the years that you said you were in Oceano, was that your first Oceano tour as well?
No, that was like my I think it was like my 3rd
Oh, okay.
technically, but it
Cool.
was part of kind of the whole
Yeah.
beginning cycle of the Ascendance album, like tour cycle.
And that's the album that you played drums on.
I didn't play drums on that album,
okay.
no.
Cool.
But I came in right when the album was pretty much getting ready to pop out, and then from there it was just
Yeah.
we hit it, and and then next thing we met, and
Yeah, so I should
totally.
explain. We Entheos' first tour was opening for Oceano and
Veil of Maya and Revocation.
Which was a good time.
And Gift Giver.
Yeah.
And Gift Giver. No longer a band, I don't think, right?
Yeah.
No, I think they broke up on that tour from what I remember. It was
so that was kind of funny.
But yeah.
That was good times, though.
Yeah.
That was great. That was fun, man. That was a really
Absolutely.
great tour. And we had a lot of fun on that tour.
But that was 5 years ago, man.
I know. It's crazy.
Kind of seems like longer, honestly. That seems like a long time ago.
It does seem a little bit longer, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you look back on shit like that. Like, as quickly as the days seem to go by, like we were talking about at the beginning of this, the years just seem longer and the memories seem way further away. But
that's why you got to try to kick ass, dude.
Yeah,
Straight up.
You really
Just
do.
keep kicking.
Yeah.
You really do.
I'm like every day. I'm like, fuck, I gotta get something done. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 40. Like,
No,
tomorrow.
I know. You know, I'm in the same mentality. I try to. One of the new things I started doing last year was so I have a little practice studio up in Petaluma,
nice.
out on this guy's ranch. It's fucking
Very cool.
sick.
Yeah, we used to actually go up there and practice because Frank lives there.
Yeah, do you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
Frank Costa?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah. He lives up there, and
He lives in Santa Rosa.
Santa
right?
Rosa.
Yeah,
Santa Rosa.
totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was all. You know, like you if you lived from Santa Rosa all the way down to basically Marin County, around whatever shows or Phoenix or whatever that was, everybody knew most people from
Totally.
that. But yeah, I got this spot up there, and one of the new things I started doing last year is I just go up and start playing drums early in the morning, like 7:30 a.m., which I had never done really
Damn.
before.
I love it. I love it.
So you wake up and
Fucking
you're
love
like, you go and bust drums.
I
That's sick.
just go up there and I fucking rip for at least an hour to an hour and a half, and it's fucking, I love it. Like,
And that's like
killer.
7. Well, if you do it 5 days a week, it's like 5 hours a week practice.
Yeah.
Just like free.
And it's
Free practice.
awesome because like I love like bike riding too and shit, and so like if I do that, then later I've got my fucking that going on, or I can switch it up, whatever. But yeah, I really enjoy like practicing in the morning. It's fucking killer.
That's awesome.
It's been a little cold lately, so adjusting that my little space doesn't have any heat or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of get.
Is it like a
going.
little storage unit kind of thing?
It's not even a storage unit. It's like a shack.
Oh,
Basically,
yeah, you're saying it's on a farm.
Yeah, this dude back in the like 70s or 60s or some shit, he was out there with his buddy, and like just collecting all this shit. Like the dude's got 6 fire trucks on the property. Old.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Vintage fire trucks?
Vintage
Those are
fire
super
trucks.
sick.
Have you gone
dude.
inside of them? Can you like go and?
So funny story. Last year, when it was raining like fucking to no end, it flooded hella bad up in Petaluma, and I was out there one night, and I was worried about my shit, and I get out there, and sure enough, there's like water coming in the bottom of my little shit. Yeah, it's basically like a shack.
That's what we used to live in.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Like it was from shack from
So
like the
it's like-
1800s.
Yeah, so you're like, all right, what's gonna happen?
really was, though.
So we know.
You don't
we get it.
you don't really know until like, all right, now it's leaking here. So how do we figure this out?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
I get it.
It was like it started flooding out there, and it got into my room. And long story short, this guy, he also has like 3 ambulances out there.
Does he have any
do they
cop
run?
cars? Yeah.
He probably does. I haven't seen
He's
any.
got a
The thing
preference.
is there's like vehicles. I'm not joking. I swear to God, there's vehicles like underneath like bushes and like covered. Like you wouldn't even know it's a vehicle.
Whoa.
You're like,
So
is
it's
that a
like
headlight?
life after people type situation.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, total like
pretty
movie
sick.
shit. Yeah, I want to film like a music video.
I know, I was
out
going to say,
there.
dude, band photos.
Yeah,
Band
I know.
photos.
We got some artistic shit to do out there.
Straight up. But yeah, he got in one of his ambulances that night and was like, because I couldn't even get my truck back up out of there.
Yeah.
And he fucking comes up and like he's in like this. Basically, this whole like reflective suit, like the dude was like thought he was like a paramedic.
He was like, "It's my chance to shine, dude."
Yeah.
Yes.
He was so stoked, and so he like got me out of there. And then like later when it dried up, I like was able to get my truck out of there. But yeah, the dude's a trip. The place has been there actually for like years, and I found out through a friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's perfect for me. It's like
That's like some Santa Cruz style shit right there.
Yeah. It's just
it's
it
hippie
totally
shit.
works,
It's Bay Area hippie shit.
Yeah. And it sounds great in there. That's what rules about it too. You know, I mean, I've got 24-hour access there.
That's what's up, dude.
So yeah.
Is it close to where you live?
Yeah, it's like a 20-minute drive. So
that's totally
that's pretty much like what we used to have. Like I had a storage unit in Watsonville. It's like 15, 20 minutes away.
I was spoiled when I was living in Los Angeles because basically I rented this place with my wife that was like this small little house, but then it had a 2-car garage right next to it.
That's legit.
Oh, shit.
So I was spoiled for like 6 years straight with that, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So now driving 20 minutes for me, it's like whatever.
There is something cool about driving to where you're practicing because you can really disconnect from your actual life.
Absolutely.
Like I'm noticing that about having the studio in our house. It's like you can't disconnect in the same way that there you go. You can't disconnect from it in the same way that you can if you're driving somewhere. Like you can really, if you have a studio that's off property, you can really like kind of clear your mind and be like, I'm here just to do drums.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's easy for me to get distracted. Not to say that I'm not getting shit done, but it's easier for me to like go do something else.
Oh yeah.
So I kind of like it.
Well, even the like practicing in the morning, I don't think I ever, maybe once, did it down south when it was right next to me.
Right. Because you're like, I could just jam later.
Yeah. But now that I have it up there, I'm like, and then like, yeah, I just get motivated on the drive. And there's actually one of the sickest things about it is you can take the freeway, you can take the 101 there, or you can go back roads. Have you guys ever been out to like Bolinas or Stenson Beach?
No, I never have.
I don't think so. Yeah, I know the name Stinson Beach.
Me too.
It's basically like West Marin. So if you were to go north over the Golden Gate and then you go up into Marin, it's like there's a bunch of beaches that are west of there. But to get to them, obviously, you got to go through.
I've been in that area just like from work.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have to go up there and.
You guys, whenever you have a time off, you just take a fucking cruise up there.
You're right.
Yeah, you're totally right. Because it's like once you get over the Golden Gate Bridge and you're in that, and just from there on up, it's so awesome.
Marin is crazy.
Not cheap.
No,
Dude,
I mean,
but
I just mean it's beautiful.
Yeah,
like
it's actually like for someone like me, I'm from the Great Plains, to experience a view like what you see when you're driving into Marin is otherworldly.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Like coming over that hill and then
when you come out of that little tunnel and you come down, you're just like. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like it will like send shivers up my spine. It's crazy.
And then it's like in and out, and you're like, yeah.
I know. You're like,
all right, double, please.
It took forever to build that in and out. That's the funniest thing about like a lot of restaurants, like in Marin, is like it takes forever to like build certain ones.
Yeah,
we're in Santa Cruz.
There's no in and out in Santa Cruz.
That's right.
The closest one is 40 minutes away.
Right.
So we never eat in and out.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff now, but like when I was younger, growing up here, like chains just don't really do that well.
Yeah.
Like a few of them opened and closed, which was weird. Like Baja Fresh opened like way back in the day. It was in where that Indian buffet was downtown.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was Baja Fresh for a minute. And no one went, and it just like closed down. But I mean, there's like McDonald's and stuff like that.
Now it's a Greek restaurant.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the same kind of vibe. Like it reminds me when I'm up in Petaluma, and it reminds me of Santa Cruz.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. It's awesome.
And that like little downtown Petaluma is super sick.
Oh,
that little strip.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Downtown Petaluma is gotten, well, especially comparative to Novato, because Novato doesn't really have much of a cool downtown strip.
Which I'm also down for, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's fun up there. But yeah, fucking.
So do you currently live in Novato?
I do. I currently live in Novato, and
that's awesome, man. Yeah, actually, that's rad.
So yeah, I'm really happy to be back up here. I spent 10 years down in
Los
Angeles, which was for me, growing up here. Not gonna lie, it was kind of scary at first, but but then I was like, hey, like I'm down to embrace this. At the time, I had just joined Oblige, and
so you moved down there. For your wife or for Oblige?
Pretty much for both. Okay. And at the time, and then
that's convenient.
Yeah.
To have your band and your girlfriend in the same fucking place.
And I moved down there with her family, and her family is just amazing, and getting to know them and living with them down there, and then we got our own place and stuff like that. But yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it was killer, and it still is, as far as like, again, the music community and a lot of the metal community. I mean, there's like some, amazing people that I've met from down there, some super hardworking people, some people that are, fucking making it all work around and revolve for us, really,
Right.
Absolutely.
So.
And they're driving in a shitload of traffic all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
It's like they're making it all happen, and they're stuck in traffic for at least 6 hours a day. So fucking,
I know.
They're killing it down there.
Right there, all I can say for me is, music.
So were you going to shows at like Showcase all the time, or what? That's the closest venue to Riverside, right?
Unfortunately not all the time, because it closed relatively soon after I was down there. I think it closed in like 2000. It was like
my timeline all fucked up over here.
Yeah, which sucks too, because that was like the pound for down there. And, and their scene, and all the people in Riverside and the Inland Empire were, that were like telling me about it, and then going to shows there and then playing shows there. It was like, fuck, man, this place is like totally the Southern California pound.
I know. If you're out there, just look up a show.
Yeah.
At Showcase, like any of old school, I don't know, hardcore metal band.
Yeah.
Showcase. It's
crazy. Like Mastodon opening up for like some other band. Like that type of shit.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And there was a balcony.
Yeah.
And sometimes people would like jump off that motherfucker.
Yep.
Yeah, it was insane.
That's really sick, because where I grew up, we were getting national shows every so often, but you guys were absolutely blessed as far as seeing a million sick bands all the time. Like, we had a great scene, don't get me wrong, but you guys were also seeing a lot of legendary shit. Like Mastodon, maybe throughout my entire musical career living in Iowa, came through like once or twice. And that type of like, from the outside looking in, and I talk about this with Navene a lot, like California's scene was just absolutely fucking killing it, and a lot of us wanted to be here or be in New York. Around me, like the Chicago area and stuff started blowing up when Veil and Born of Osiris and those type of bands came. Oceano is from Chicago, but you guys had such a fucking sick scene out here. It's so cool to it's just cool to like live out here now.
Well, you've put your name in it now, so there's no going back.
That's true. Like, that's true.
Yeah, it's
like,
killer.
A lot of the bands were from here. The death metal thing was insane here.
But dude, totally. I mean, I would say that the whole deathcore thing kind of came from the Bay Area. A lot of those bands, along with some other bands like Despised Icon, I think was there at the beginning of that, but a lot of those type of bands are from the Bay Area, like a huge thing. Thrash bands. I mean,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
There's multiple levels of metal that easily date way back, and it's cool to see how it's developed too. Totally. Yeah, I love it. It's like
but I think I think it is sort of like we need another The Pound, because like, I don't know. I think it might just be the state of San Francisco right now, because it's so like rich, and so tech, and like
they just want DJs in there all day.
So my theory is when kids, the people at our age, when their kids are 16, they're gonna be like, I want some metal. They're gonna be like, fuck this, because the younger, I mean the older kids, like the millennials or whatever, they're not really that into, punk, I guess you could say. And
at least not from my point of view. I mean, maybe
that's what it
are.
seems like to me. They want the raves and all that stuff, but I think the next generation, I think they're gonna be trying to get some.
They're gonna revolt.
They will. No, they'll want their parents to drive them into the city to go to see a show at.
Because even in the city, like I used to I lived in San Francisco for like over 5 years.
Yeah, that's sick.
And like now, when like I go there to work and stuff, and it's just so different, man. I mean, it's like rich. I mean, the amount of tech people and all that stuff. And not that that's a bad thing. It's just
that is
they're not listening
though.
to death metal. That's why they don't have a whole lot of rage inside of them.
That is an interesting thing to talk about. I wonder if there is less of that shit going on now, or because of that whole industry.
I think absolutely.
Maybe, yeah.
Because look at what we were talking about earlier. It's like, look at where the metal venues pop up. They pop up in like shit.
Yeah.
You know, like on the wrong side of the tracks.
They do.
And I thought that was fucking cool when I was a kid.
Right.
Know? For sure.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely.
Like I was like, when we were talking about this venue, Burnt Ramen, this old school venue, it was like, it's really small. It used to be a flower shop.
Right.
It's in Richmond, which I don't even know what the state of Richmond is now. It could be way nice now. I have no idea. But in those times, it was like super just bombed out. And it was right by train tracks. Sometimes trains would go by, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, we are literally on the wrong side of the tracks right now. Like, it is. And I was like 14. I thought that was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I am in, like, the world just doesn't get what I'm doing right now. You know, like, I'm just on this other like, nobody has a clue. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I loved that feeling.
Yeah.
For sure.
That feeling.
Oh, me too. Yeah. I mean, without a doubt, you know, I was always the guy that, like, I was down to play anywhere, really.
Totally.
You know what I mean? But when those type of places came up, especially where they were so connected to just metal and hardcore and death metal, and you're like, you know, there wasn't security. No. It was just like,
you could do anything in Burnt Ramen. You could like, people would smoke weed, they would drink, because Gilman was like cool, but they had a lot of rules, you know.
Right.
And Burnt Ramen was like, no, like, anything goes.
Yeah.
It's just whatever.
Yeah.
People would drink 40s in there and fucking.
Dude.
I mean, it would get shut down here and there. You know, the cops would show up or
the
whatever.
good old 40 at a show. Wow.
But yeah, if you're drinking 40s, you could smoke weed.
Bring your fucking cooler in there.
Yeah,
dude,
like do
So
graffiti, you know?
Yeah.
It was like, whatever. Like,
yeah. I mean,
that
that is metal.
That's metal.
That
you know?
is punk. Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
To some extent, metal now is a little more polished and like not as punk, but that's at the fucking heart of it. That's what it is. It's evil. It's fucking, it's punk as fuck.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I really liked that, you know?
Me too.
Yeah,
and I
me
think
too.
With the internet blowing up and everything, it's more, people want to be more popular and famous and all that stuff. And that's cool. I'm not knocking that. It's just, from my perspective as a kid, you know, I really remember just how that felt to just be like,
me too, man.
I'm in some fucking fucked up neighborhood at like in an old flower shop. You know, there's people moshing and it's just
like
doing graffiti.
I'm transporting my expensive equipment into this like this cooler or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh yeah, because there was like the fridge.
Yeah,
that was like where all the gear went.
Yeah, you put your gear in the fridge.
There's actually a documentary about Burnt Ramen. It's like on YouTube
sick.
or something.
Whoa.
Because we watched it. Because Carlos is in it.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. I think I saw
really
it.
remember.
Yeah. Because
that was
like,
sick.
I think Chaney came across it somehow like on Facebook.
Okay, I remember.
And you were like, oh, do you know about this
Yeah.
venue? And I was like, holy shit, that's fucking Burnt Ramen, dude. Like, so I don't know. Maybe we can link that into the
I think it
description.
might be like a short Vice thing or something.
I don't know if it's that big, but it's something like that.
I vaguely remember what's.
Yeah, because they were. It was like the city was trying to shut it down, and it was news to me that it's still even a venue because I want to play there if it's a venue.
Yeah,
straight up.
Yeah,
but it was cool. I mean, it's just fuck, man. It's crazy to see that shit.
I know.
And like,
what a place.
Another thing is, do you follow Jerry Guzman on Instagram?
No, I don't.
Oh, dude,
you got to do it, man.
You're from the Bay.
He had a camera. I think we talked about this in the last episode.
Yeah,
but we'll talk about it again. So he had like a nice camera, you know, and he like took legit photos at like every show. So
sick.
It's like there might be photos of you guys.
Yeah,
seriously,
probably.
It's crazy.
I mean, I think
it's crazy.
It's like every Bay Area show since '93 or something. Jerry Guzman has taken at West Coast Worldwide. All these venues you were naming, I only know about because of Jerry Guzman.
Like
really?
you know, nobody had a camera or a fucking phone. I mean, phones didn't have. There wasn't. First of all, you didn't have a phone, but even if you did, there was no camera.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, you gotta check.
You gotta check it out.
Yeah, remind me. I definitely will.
Yeah, I will. Because dude, it's like there's some pictures of me on there, and I'm like, I'm like 12.
Yeah,
you know, like it's
just
crazy.
Out of death metal,
or playing with
so
Animosity.
funny.
Like when I was like 15, literally 15.
Yeah,
you know, so it's gnarly.
Yeah,
it's super fun to look at though. Like
dude,
when I first, because I remember him too. You might know, like if you saw a picture of him, you'd probably know who he was because he was always taking pictures.
Probably.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, there was definitely a lot of dudes that like I remember being at shows that I never really got to know their names or got to know them.
That's a trip about looking at those photos is you'll be like, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, that other dude.
Totally.
Oh, and
yeah.
so, and then that's also sort of a thing. Like, I don't know if it's like this for you, but there was like a separate little scene in Santa Cruz.
Yeah,
so that was kind of like, I would go up because my mom lived here.
Right.
And my dad lived up in Oakland or Berkeley. So I would go up and, that's how I met all the Animosity guys and stuff. But like, so I don't know, was it like that for you? Was there like a little Petaluma kind of scene?
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it was like, well, anything that was from Marin County up to like Santa Rosa, that far. Yeah, it would kind of, I guess at the time, I would say basically home based in Petaluma, sometimes in Santa Rosa, but rarely down in like Marin. There was one place, this fucking teen center back in the day in San Rafael.
Yeah. Teen centers, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I went to that one.
Do people nowadays know about that? Like, do people now play at teen centers? It doesn't seem like it.
I feel like if it is, somebody's calling it, the dungeon,
it's true.
or something like that.
Or like church basements, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that used to be the venue. The church basement or the fucking teen center.
Well, there was also like
every venue in Pittsburgh is like a fucking church, pretty much.
True.
There was also venues that weren't churches. They were just like a Christian venue that they would pay for it and have like, they would have metal shows.
Yeah.
Do you remember playing places like that?
Oh, yeah.
Because like on tour, we would always play a couple of them like that. And you couldn't swear. You have to like sign something saying you wouldn't swear.
You couldn't swear. And then also the Vets Hall, obviously. That's the classic. But that's where metal used to exist. It didn't used to be like House of Blues metal.
No, of course not.
Dude, bring it back.
Grange Hall.
Bring it back.
Yeah, somebody's got a Grange Hall somewhere. Why don't somebody open it?
I know. The thing is, it would sound like total shit. So if I was gonna do it again, I'd have to like bring my own PA.
I know, but that's a part of the joy of going to a show like that. Like, you don't totally give a fuck about how the music sounds. You just care about the rage that you're.
That was kind of cool because it was like, okay, which band sounds the best, right?
Yeah.
Like it was just like, okay, who's gonna sound good as a band,
right?
Right. You didn't have anything to hide behind, so that was
just a tube amp and.
Yeah.
Just ripping
and you're playing and how clean you're
distorted.
Yeah. And it's like if your drummer sucked, which you guys know, you are fucked. You're fucked.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah,
totally.
It's in your face.
Now we got all these drummers on click tracks and shit, and cheating with their triggers that everyone can hear, and
Yeah.
It's a different world out there.
But so who are you playing with now, Andrew?
I'm playing with Impending Doom. And
cool.
I have a new band called Anhedonia, which is a couple friends from Fresno area and one from LA. And
nice.
It's been great. Making a lot of music and
what kind of stuff is that right there?
Right here.
No, the band. The beer. I know.
Well, Impending Doom is Impending Doom.
Right.
Anhedonia's has similar elements, but we definitely go into like a little bit more of like the old school not old school death metal, but kind of death metal.
Cool.
And just I mean, they're similar in a retrospect, but
okay.
But both great. And,
nice. So does Impending Doom like tour a lot? Or are they kind of taking it a little bit easy?
Impending Doom just does mostly like fly shows.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
not mad at that.
Yeah, I mean, Impending Doom has been around for a fucking minute.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember going to Impending Doom shows in like 07, 06, which seems old to me now. But.
Yeah, totally. Me too. I mean, I remember them like coming to shows in that down south in the Glass House.
Same as all part of the Inland Empire, the river, specifically the Riverside circle.
Yeah, totally.
How close is the Glass House to all that? Because that's where I specifically remember some of the Impending Doom dudes.
Like 30 minutes, maybe. Not too far.
Got it.
Pending traffic,
Yeah, no shit. What's the local Riverside venue?
I don't know if there really is one right now. And to be honest with you, I never really played in Riverside. It was pretty much always Corona or Pomona.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Or like,
we used to play some fucking random spot too in Lancaster. Is that close by? Or is that like way different?
That's a little bit farther. That's like
That's inland though, right?
You guys, do you realize we're doing the typical California thing right now? Because people don't realize how fucking spread out California is.
huge.
So it's like, dude, so that's like in Anaheim, right? And it's like, nah, that's about 40 minutes south of Anaheim.
Yeah, because
you
people
just like get on the 5 and go to the 1 to the, you know. Like,
and then you're there.
Yeah.
People hit me up sometimes like on tour, if they're like a European band that we met or something. And they'll be like, hey, we're playing LA tonight. You guys should come. It's like, dude, I live like 7 hours away from there.
With all of those fires that were happening in LA, my mom hit me up and she's like, you got to be careful in the fires and freaking out. And I live so long away from there, man. It's not.
It's a huge state, you know.
It's a huge state.
It's crazy. And it's crazy the different landscapes of, you know.
Yeah.
It's got literally every topography.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
It's all like, what do you into? You got desert, mountains,
plains,
beach. Yeah. I don't know if there's plains.
There definitely are.
Plains.
Yeah. I mean, it's very hilly, but if you go inland a bit, it's pretty fucking flat.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It gets. Yeah. The whole Central Valley is just totally flat.
Yeah. I mean, that's where they grow a lot of the country's fruits and vegetables. So.
Very true.
Y'all are getting that shit from California.
And a lot of the country's tweeds.
A lot of the weed of the country. Going back to the names of weed, that's a thing. I think that weed names make a little more sense than beer names because weed names will be like derivative of the strains that they came from. You know, if you have a wedding cake, it's because it came from, I don't know, what's the cake? Like banana cake and white wedding. Or something like that, you know. Beer doesn't have that genealogy.
I think I could think of some good beer names. How about that?
Probably.
You can probably easily get them out there. I'm telling you. You know?
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'll think of some too. You know, I'm always like looking at them. I'm like, all right. But hey, tastes great.
It does taste great.
Totally, man.
Yeah.
So you were telling us early something we kind of talk about on the show. Like about how people sustain themselves being in a metal band, like what they do for work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so you were saying earlier that you're going to open up a UPS store.
Well,
right? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually, me and my wife are going to buy one.
Yeah.
So it's already open, which is awesome and established.
Okay. Okay.
And,
got it.
Yeah. Fully functioning and yeah.
Because people always wonder, like, how do you, when you're in your 30s like us and you're still touring, still trying to live the dream, you know what I'm saying? And then also, I mean, a lot of people just don't know how to do that, you know? Yeah. So how do you make it work, man?
Well, for me, in between touring for the last like 10, 12 years, I've basically worked at a UPS store when I'm home from tour.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So they let you leave and come home or what?
Thankfully they did, yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I didn't know that UPS did that type of shit. That's cool.
With the UPS stores, because they're individually owned and they're like franchises, they can make a little bit more rules than as opposed to if you're a UPS driver.
Gotcha.
Because that's more union.
Right.
Got it.
But, very cool. There's a job idea, people.
There you go.
UPS is what UPS store is. What's up?
So y'all are gonna buy one of these fuckers,
right? Yeah. So it's franchise. So basically, we'll own that specific location, and I mean, I'm excited about it just because I know the business for the most part, and you know, she's gonna be my partner in it, and so we're excited, and it basically got me to move back up here. That was one of the main reasons, which is awesome, and. Yeah, it's like I definitely feel like accomplished because of it, and knowing that now I'll be able to, you know, have something making money at home,
right,
while I go on the tour.
That's the hard part to figure out, and like I try to think of that all the time, like what we could do that's existing without me having to be there.
Sure,
you know, where you can go on tour, and like you were saying earlier before we started the podcast, it's like. You're not as on edge on tour because it's like, okay, the tour bombs or whatever. You're just like, well, I mean, I've got my thing at home and I'm still able to do this because...
Right. Instead of coming home to whoever is at home and being like, yo, I don't have any fucking money to help you with rent this month. And because being in a band costs a lot of money. And I think that... It does. I don't think that people overlook that. Like it makes sense that it costs a lot of money, but I don't know that people know how much it costs to tour. Yeah. And it's like have to plan all of that shit out perfectly, and a lot of times you're depending on merch sales.
Yeah.
And if merch isn't overall, if merch doesn't average as well as you thought it would, then you might be kind of fucked on that tour. And there are a lot of like what ifs that go down. You could do exceptionally well on one tour and get like $10,000, come home with that, and then come home with negative $10,000 in your bank on the next one.
Yeah.
So
it's a risk. No matter what.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely.
But, you know, I mean, I love it. I know you guys love it. A lot of people out there love it, and they want to love it. But yeah, it's just important, you know. I don't know. I
gotta do it,
you know?
man.
Yeah.
You know,
I've
definitely gone through phases where I'm like, you know what, man, it's just a hobby. Fuck it, you know. Yeah. But it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Like I need to do it.
Yeah.
I gotta do it.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
So, I mean,
and I think,
and it's specifically what I'm doing too. You know, like, you know, my wife's asked me, you know, well, why don't you just, you know, do a pop band? I'm like, well,
no,
because I'm not going to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there is something about metal that, or just like what you grow up doing, that especially in the scene, that you just feel is integrated into your person forever.
Yeah.
And once you've like been on a metal tour, you can't unlive that. It's hard to step into something else that might be like considered to be more mainstream, or to me that's a different type of touring than fucking getting in a van and sleeping in a van every night and playing like The Chain.
And even when you do that, it's not the same feeling, you know.
Yeah.
Like even when I was in Animals, one of the things that I thought was one of the factors for me was it even felt different. You know, just being and that's like still pretty much a metal band, you know. And I'm not saying that's like why I quit the band or whatever, but like, you know, it was not the same. It was like a recital, you know, which is cool. I mean, a lot of people like that, but I like playing sweaty shows.
Yeah.
I like being punk as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I like that whole world that we're talking about that we came from.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't know.
To me, like being so prided in making original music and then being able to just go out there and like do it, like
that's so fucking cool,
wherever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like the half of it for me, you know?
Yeah. Totally.
And people get like super jaded about that, but sometimes I'll just stop and think about it, and like the fact that you can go to all these shows in a row on a tour and there's like somebody who knows your music.
Yeah.
Like just that sometimes blows my mind.
It's insane.
But there's like one person, even if it's just one.
Yeah.
It's like how is that even possible? You know, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, I know.
Because people get, you know, when you get into a bigger band and stuff, and you're like, oh, there's only 20 people here or 50 people, whatever, you know. But it's like that's a lot, you know. Like
I know. Well, there were days,
especially if they all care about you. Too.
I know
exactly.
Like, nuts.
There were days when I was 18 and playing shows where I would have fucking killed for that. I would have done anything to have 20 people who cared about my band at a show.
Totally.
Yeah.
I've played to zero. I've played to like one person before, the bar staff.
Have.
Exactly. Yeah. And just having a few people at a show, it is a big deal. Even though it doesn't feel like a big deal, that shit is a big deal. Or if you're standing in Europe and you're like, holy shit, heavy music and like that passion that I developed when I was a kid got me here to scream.
Dude,
like I scream. You guys play drums, but I scream into a fucking microphone. So it's even more like, this is just so cool. Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's kind of like once you go there, you can't go back. Like once you become a pickle, you can't go back to being a cucumber.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's all about doing things like what you're talking about, getting like finding ways to maintain it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, I definitely feel that itch grind, like just to always be just improving what's going on tenfold all around, because you know I want to do music forever and I want to tour, and you know, and that's a big part of, you know,
I get it, man.
Yeah.
Everything. So
yeah, me too, man. It's all about just finding the balance and how to make it all work at once and not giving one thing up because you think that you're supposed to be like a corporate guy or giving all the corporate guy shit up because you have to be a musician all
Right.
like it's a good
Right.
it's good to find a yin yang, I think, like a balance in the world in that shit. And
Definitely hard.
definitely hard.
That's
challenging.
the hard part.
Definitely hard.
For sure.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, like I'm excited that we're going back out pretty soon.
On tour, yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys got? What do you guys have coming up?
We've got so we announced the Tech Trek thing.
You know that band Archspire
Oh yeah.
and Surreption. Have you heard them?
Yeah. And
Okay,
Wormhole.
yeah.
It's gonna be
They're
sick.
sick.
Have you heard
That's
that band,
nasty.
Wormhole?
Yeah, have you fucked with Wormhole?
That's,
Cool.
Yeah.
Dude, they're fucking awesome.
Also
And we've-
That's a nasty
Surreption.
lineup.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
So
it's sick.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be. That's like all Canada, and then we have another tour, but it's not announced.
Yeah, we
yet.
can't announce it yet.
Tight.
So
Yeah. What do you have anything coming up? Any dates or any shows?
Yeah, actually, next week, Anhedonia is playing some new place called the Honey Hive Gallery. It's in San Francisco.
Oh, sick.
That's on Thursday the 13th.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is coming out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Not that,
damn,
Nice. Yeah.
but
people
yeah,
are just gonna be
sick.
flooding.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
expect to have at least 7,000 people standing outside
I wouldn't
waiting
expect
for you.
anything less.
Dude, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm playing some shows coming up, and then
So you guys working on like making a album or EP?
Didn't you?
or
You
something?
just released something.
yeah, so we just released our first, I guess full length, pretty much.
Okay, I need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should have jammed
So
that.
I'll
Jammed that one.
I'll
Should have
get-
jammed that before the podcast.
It's-
We were listening to all of your, but yeah,
Other
okay.
bands.
We're gonna listen to that.
Sick.
We'll
Impending
link
Doom's working on some stuff too.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
And,
So you're gonna play on that stuff too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
New shit, yeah. So I think we're just gonna do an EP,
Cool.
but yeah, excited for that. Yeah, a lot of good stuff coming out. I've also got some music I'm working on with my buddy Richie Gomez and my friend Carl Bensley, and yeah, that's super sick. So yeah, trying to release at least hopefully 2, if not 3 EPs this year.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Just getting that shit out there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's sort of what we're trying to do too. Just like release
Yeah.
a bunch of music. And
Yeah,
Yeah. I think
just
course.
be free.
I like that. Instead of waiting like the millions of years in between albums, we're trying to like, release stuff a little more quickly this time around. So
I like the singles idea. Kind of tried that last year with like.
Okay.
how did that go for you?
Yeah, 'cause that's like what we're pretty much thinking of doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it went well. Yeah, I mean it's seems to be a way to go as far as like not getting too much out there, and just hyping it with one single, and then
Right.
next thing you know, hyping another one.
Totally.
Um,
Because, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes with albums, it seems like people will still just get caught up on the singles anyway.
yeah,
So, and they don't really hear the other shit. So why not put out like 1,000,000 singles and do it that way? It
Yeah.
seems like an easier way to kind of pump your shit up.
and next thing you know, you have an album, and you
Exactly.
press it.
That's
Yep.
that's
Whatever.
what
There you
that's
go.
exactly what we're talking about doing. Because
Yeah.
it's like people sort of have a short attention span.
Yeah. I mean, it's the
So-
pop music way, right? That's like what
Yeah, they have-
people, if you follow like a rap model or a pop model nowadays, that's kind of what they do is just put out singles all the time. And then
Yeah.
the singles become the album. And the whole album is a banger because every song is a single.
There you go. So
and
trying to
you
achieve-
guys are doing it independent now, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
We're going to
Wow.
see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I
stoked
mean,
about it.
We
honestly.
are
Yeah.
stoked about
Of
it.
course, you
Yeah.
should be. You can be optimistic nowadays with just the way music comes out
Dude.
easily,
And nobody cares about it as much as you do. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like
yeah.
that's
feel-
just how it is.
There are
Yeah.
a lot of like bands out there right now who are killing it as independent bands. I think Shadow of Intent has fucking killed it as
Yeah.
an independent band. There are a lot of just people out there doing it big
Oh yeah.
independently. So yeah,
Anybody.
it's
can, really.
encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Anyone can. You can put that shit out yourself
that
now
shit out,
on
yeah.
the World Wide Web. That's
Seriously.
all you need.
Boom.
Boom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. You want to wrap this shit up?
Yeah, wrap it up, man.
Sick.
Andrew, thanks so much for coming down.
Yeah,
dude.
thank you.
I
And
know
for
it's not
supplying us
super
with beer
close.
and this
No, of
bomb
course.
diggity right there.
I mean, I love it down here. My sister went to Santa Cruz for college, so I'd visit her down here, and yeah. I
Oh,
love
shit,
it.
yeah.
I love it down here.
Hell,
great.
it's gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good time. You heading straight back, or what do you?
Yeah, I'm heading straight back.
All right, damn.
I drove my wife's car down here because my truck probably wouldn't have made it over the hill.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that hill.
Yeah.
People don't know about the hill that you have to suffer through to get to our house.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal.
It's not a good time. But, man,
Especially
like
in
I
the
said.
Especially in the rain.
Yeah, I know all too well.
So many wrecks.
But thanks a lot for coming down, man.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
really
you.
glad
Thank
we
you
got
guys.
to catch up.
Cheers.
Yeah.
And
it's awesome.
we're loving this beer here already.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
kind
we
of
are.
like all tipsy. off
I
of
am
one
too.
beer,
I'm sure you
dude.
guys can tell we're all a little tipsy off that beer.
But once again, Recess Coffee.
Check out Recess.
What was it? The beer company?
Seven Stills.
Seven Stills.
Seven Stills. Get some of that. But
Get some.
right on, man. Once again, Andrew, thanks so much, man.
Yeah.
For coming down.
Cheers, y'all.
Appreciate you, brother.
Cheers to another 18.
That's right.
All right, you guys, as usual, hit us up at KoperCrabbPodcast@gmail.com with all your questions. Other than that, have a good week, man. Celebrate your life. Get a little tipsy. Do your thing.
Peace.
Later.
KoperCrabb Podcast. Love y'all.
Right underneath that.
Yeah, it's so hard.